What you laughing at?
Cause now you ready? It's always that one.
I mean, I'm saying, he beefed with me because I was late and stuff. You know
I mean,
that's never no beef now.
It's just funny to see because I'm like him because
he was on time.
Yeah, I was just like. Matter of fact,
no,
listen, I'm telling you, I was mad because the directions kind of gave me some, like, it take me over here, and I'm like, hold on, this should be. And then I was like, I'm going into the church. I was like, this.
But man, tell him I'm always punctual, bro. This is every blue moon.
Okay, I mean, okay.
Yeah, let's blame Quiet. I'm gonna tell you off camera why it's Quiet fault. Not on.
Everything's been Quiet fault, man. I can believe that. Yeah, I definitely could believe that.
Quiet been wilding. We're gonna call him after this interview though. But another episode of Main and Slim, man. We finally back with another episode. We got a great guest today though, man. Kid Joe in the building.
Kid Joe.
Thank you.
Bro, what's your slogan? I was in middle school first time I heard that shit.
Well, Kid Joe,
I want you to make my mama happy.
Kid Joe, I want you to make my mama happy. Yeah.
Bro, do you know I moved here in 8th grade, bro. And I heard that shit on the radio. No lie. I remember this shit like yesterday. I had just got off the airplane and I heard that phrase and me and my mama started laughing. And then you spun into playing that Monica song. The one where in the video it was raining.
Oh yeah.
You remember that year?
So
and then you switched that and you played the Bow Wow. It's really, really nice to meet you, Mom.
Oh yeah. Oh well, yeah. You remember
that was that
mix. I don't even know what that
I
hard
had just got
drive.
off the airplane.
I don't even know what that hard drive looked like right now. You know what I'm saying?
You remember them days though?
I remember. Like I can remember something like that. But yeah, like that got me in a lot of trouble. But it made a lot of things better for me. I mean,
what radio station you was at then?
At that time I was, and I'm still there now. At Power 107.
Real quick, I already know the story because I interviewed you before, but tell the people the story behind how you got that recording.
Okay, so I was dating this chick.
If you could tell me, I don't know.
No, I can tell the story because it's a legit story. And you know how you always try to impress that one chick, like, so she brings her niece into the studio, and they bring me food, and so I was just, you know how you had those, like, being a creator, like you just had those wild moments where you just let me involve her some kind of way and hype her up.
Right.
So it was just that type of situation where I just told her what to say, and it just hit me. It just kind of hit me. It wasn't something I was looking for somebody to do. One of the girl to say, oh my God, is like Kid Joe. She's actually a black girl that worked at a Touch of Class. She was a waitress at the time. And every time she in town and she hears it, she calls me and say, you still using that? Like, those are MP3s that will forever be used. I think I got them saved like 40 different times, 40 different places. So
how did you get to the radio though?
Oh, how did I get? Listen. So that. Oh, okay. So yeah, let me take you all the way back there. Yeah. You asked about how did I get that part, but how did I get to the radio? It was always like a thing that I had. Like I always wanted to DJ. So it was one of those things where this guy by the name of Lance, and I was working at this other radio station. Well, it was this other radio station in the market that everybody was on. And honestly, at that time, how we have all these different radio stations in the town, it wasn't that. You had this one radio station. So everybody wanted to be there. So Saturday nights, you would like listen to the radio. And it was just like a party. It was like they did things that you never would have seen at the time, like do the part. Like we, at the time before Atlanta was doing it, we were doing like, well, Augusta had like where you had heard the party from the club, so you heard the party actually on the radio, on the air. So like it was just one of those things. So I always had this thing where I wanted to DJ, and this dude by the name of Sir Lancelot was actually like spinning at a family reunion that I was at, and everybody just was having a good time. And ever since then, it was just like, yo, this is what I want to do. So I tried. I was in middle school just trying to get on. So when I got my learner's permit and was able to drive, that was the time it was like, yo, I'm just going to run into these dudes. So I made sure every time I was out and they were somewhere, I tried to be where they were. So one day I was just sitting in the studio because, by that time, I was able to drive. I was bumping into them. And I just wanted to be around it, just to
What
figure
year
it.
was this at the time?
I want to say like 98. So like, you know, young, I still in school trying to DJ. This was tapes, like, so I was DJing, like I would put my set together, and it wasn't even sets. It was just like, if I was there at the party, what would I play? So I would just pause, play, and they would run the whole thing. So I was actually DJing like the middle school dances before they even, like, you know, had a DJ. They would use the little PA system, and it was just one of those things. And then moving up, I got into high school, start really you know, trying to get equipment. This is when we had Radio Shack, so I was trying to buy equipment from Radio Shack. Worst shit in the world, trying to buy equipment from Radio Shack, because it would break. Like, you wouldn't have it like 3 weeks and it'd be broke. Just
Ain't it crazy how Radio Shack sound like some Stone Age shit right now?
Yeah, it just, yeah, but like Radio Shack came in hand when you needed them crazy ass wires.
Right?
Yeah, no, Radio Shack, they had one like,
it was one in the mall by where
yeah,
Dick's at now.
but they had like multiple Radio Shacks, like where the U-Haul is, they had a Radio Shack over there. Hell, they even had a Radio Shack in Washington Wilkes. Like, I was just like in Washington doing a party, and I was like, oh, they got a Radio Shack. So
Ain't you from Harlem? Somebody told me you from Harlem.
I am from Harlem. I'm from Columbia County. I'm actually from Grovetown before it was cool. Like,
before it
still,
got built up?
and still living in Grovetown. And like, yeah, so I'm.
Did you go to Harlem High School?
Yeah, I went to Harlem all the way through. Like, but then it was different. Like, we didn't have a Grovetown High. They had like, you went to Grovetown Elementary, you went to Harlem Middle, and then you went to Harlem High.
Yeah, Grovetown was built a year after I graduated high
Yeah,
school.
yeah. So, yeah, it was kind of whack, but you know, it was one of them things. It's a learning lesson.
How'd you like growing up in Harlem though? Did you?
It was different,
every day?
huh?
Did you used to come to Augusta every day?
Yeah, because I had most of my family lived in Augusta. Like, I had like an aunt, and I had two aunts that lived in Harlem, but for the most part, I was in Augusta because I worked in the mall. So like, that's how I would try to get my money up, like, you know, to get tapes or CDs or records, working in the mall.
How was the DJ game back then?
It was appreciated more. Like, at that time, it was like, it wasn't as easy to get access to music. So if you had like a new record or a new Missy, you could actually, like, if you had it first and played it, that was one, you know, one of the like the good things. And the DJ was actually more responsible for bringing the crowd than like, you know, all this extra stuff that's, you know, in the game now.
What like, I know you told us your rundown of DJing, but like what inspired you to want to be a DJ? Like what about DJing made you say, I want to do that?
It's watching people have a good time. That's always, and even to this day, we did a party like last weekend, and it's always just being able to play a bunch of different music and watching everybody have a good time. So that's always been my thing, like making sure that, you know, people have a good time.
Only time I think for me, only time I ever like wanted to be a DJ or I thought it was like really, really cool. Like, I would think for me, Juice. I watched Juice and I seen him doing that. Yeah. And I thought it was just cool. Them touching the music and moving back and forth.
It was actually a house party for me. Because I went through that, like, I actually could borrow my mom's car, so it was like putting all the stuff in the car and then that's actually how it was, because I had this chick that I was dating at the time, and her dad gave me a turntable. So once I got that turntable, it was just like, oh, I'm out of here.
Use a turntable too.
I still have like a set of turntables, and this new thing today is like a turntable. It has the same functions as a turntable. It just doesn't have the arm on it or the needle.
That's dope though. Yeah, that's funny.
Bro, I used the house party reference the other night when we was in Oak.
Oh yeah,
and you was like, "Why I got to be Martin?" But now you talking about.
Because seeing, like, your funny is different. So I got the joke, but I was just like, come on, man. Like, cause y'all already, certain parties, y'all be like, oh, this ain't my type of party right here. This ain't my type
That
of
was
vibe.
a cool one though.
That was a cool one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, see, that's what I think Augusta needs.
Man, did you catch that though? He said your type of funny different.
Yeah.
I mean, it is like,
Bro, he said that the first time I worked for him. I came in 706. He was in the office, and I was like, "Why you in the office looking like $1 Bill?"
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah,
He was like,
yeah.
he want to fuck with
Yeah,
that.
he wasn't fucking with that. Everybody else was
like-
laughing, and he was just like,
cause it was
lame
like,
ass
come
nigga.
on, $1 Bill, all you do is spin records. You know how many times I hear that? If it ain't Kid Joe, I want you to make my mama happy, or oh my God, is it like Kid Joe?
Oh,
Like,
I cranked both of them bitches.
listen,
too.
so it was just like, you look like $1 Bill.
But you know what? Like, I can see it being like a good thing too, cause like it's for me. If we had interviewed like I ain't gonna say any other DJ, but any other DJs, it'd be hard to ask them questions because they don't have the same like background or like
the history.
But what
profile
people
you
don't
got.
realize is like I did maybe 3 months, and I didn't even go every day. My mom was so pissed off that I didn't go to finish college like I should have. Like, so I walked off my high school stage and I started being a production director. So that's what radios are based on is the revenue and ratings, but most are the revenue. That's what pays people. So I was dealing with the money part of it. Like they got the spots. This one they were still dealing with reel to reel. You had cassettes, like you had carts. A cart would be like a little bit bigger than this, and it worked like an 8-track. It was an 8-track.
Right.
So, but they used those to put like music on. So that was my job. Put all the music on that we added this week. Put all the commercials on because people had to actually play those commercials, and then it kind of moved, through the times.
That's wild, bro. As far as like you like making your way into radio, how'd you get like there though? Like, cause I from when I've been like introduced to you, you was ready. You was known out here.
No, it wasn't. I was from Harlem, bro.
Well, I mean,
We don't listen, when they call Josie, Laney, Butler, Glen Hills, they say Harlem. Like, and it was just like that. Harlem. Like, we never got put in those realms. What happened was this dude by the name of Jetta and Kevin Jetta, like he did parties at Payne, but he introduced me to working for street teams. What street teams back in those days did was, say you had a new artist in town, you put the artist out there by putting their posters out, putting any merch that you had. The dopest one I did was Aaliyah. That was like, and this is the one where she had More Than a Woman and that last album, because it had her where they had a picture of her and then they had a cartoon of her. And it was like the week before she passed, they asked us to send all the merch back. And someone was saying, yo, I should keep some of this. Never kept it. We got 2 days later and it was like, oh, she died in a plane crash. And we was just like, oh, shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of different stuff that, helped me get to where I'm at now. Because I watch how record companies placed artists out there. And I just took the same mentality that the record companies took to do with my brand. And it was always marketing from day one. The Kid Joe, I really didn't like the Kid Joe. Like I went through several DJ names. One was like, this one Snoop was hot. Like, I think it was Drip Dog or something like that.
That wasn't gonna be it.
That's before his time
That
right
wasn't
there,
gonna
ain't
be it. It's funny though because he was sounding like, and I don't know if you're doing this in the interview, Bob, but he was like, he did for street team. He worked for a street team. Like we not that young. We don't. I know. Like I seen street teams before.
Yeah.
I didn't know you worked for one. Like
I
would never know that.
Like I worked for Epic. I worked for Universal. I did some work for Sony. We worked the Sierra project, Sierra and one of them Usher projects.
Is that the year she came to the Power Fest?
No, it was even before that.
You remember that year though? It was her, Rick Ross.
Listen, I still got all those pictures. Like my Instagram.
My homeboy sold Rick Ross some weed too that year.
I'm gonna stay out of that one. Weed ain't just quite illegal yet, but I mean, during that time,
That's some police shit.
I mean, I'm probably didn't get arrested, but it's all good.
I'm gonna just stay out of that because you don't.
Maine don't like Rick Ross. You think
I don't know him, bro. I don't know him. I don't know him. That's all, bro.
But the dopest thing,
going,
my daughter celebrates her birthday the same day he does, and I've been to the mansion a couple times to the party, so that's always dope. So, but so no, I like work with the street team. Wasn't really in radio like that. Like I always had the whack position, like 12 at night. That's when people still was doing like overnights. So I was there from like 12 at night to like 6 in the morning, then 7 if somebody came late. So it was always.
So when you got your big break to like get your placement or get DJing on the radio, because you're already DJing, you're doing the street team, like you're doing the groundwork.
Yeah, I was doing the groundwork. I never forget, and he was so hard on me, and I always like never told the story, but Stu by the name of Night Train. He's a Butler alumni, but he did like Saints, and he did some of those big clubs back in the day. He always would push me, like, yo, he would make me like do mixes, like, yo, you ain't turned in your mix yet, and I was just like, I'm turning in no mix like this. So he would make me come in. He said, if you want to be on the radio, you're gonna have to start doing mixes, and you're gonna have to come in the radio. So I would come in, mix for an hour, 2 hours, and just go from there. Then I was like, oh, this ain't that bad. Like, this kind of cool. So it started from there. So big shouts going out to Night Train and Greg Nice.
What's that process like? And I'm asking just for us on the standpoint, like you are DJing, right? But then I hear radio. Well, when I did listen to radio, like you hear where y'all DJing, y'all got mixes, but y'all also talking in between. So like, what's that process like for that? You got, I don't know, like
at that time.
What's the time? What's the gaps? You got 10 to 12, 12 to 2.
It's always in how much energy your show has. So I work with and I just like saying the names. Craig Boogie was like, it was the Cut Boys back in the day. So that was like, they was hated, but they was loved too. Like, I mean, and that was a weird thing because as much as they was hated, they was more loved than anything. So it's just, if you got people calling into the show, that's when radio was radio. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it was more exciting. You know what I'm saying? School shout outs. You knew what this when high school games was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like now when you go to a high school game, you like, so is it over yet? Like, you know what I'm saying? If and typically this when you could go to the girls game and the boys game and both of them be packed, depending on who's playing. So it was all the energy in the show. And that's why we stayed number one for like years and years and years and years and years. So So you got like the morning shift, the midday, I guess the evening or whatever, right? Like, so let's say midday. I'm gonna just use that. Like, what's the typical day if you got a midday shift? Like, how you? If you got a midday shift, there's typically you start at 10. It's a lot of work in before you get there. When you care about your show sounds like it. This is before content was so big. You had content. Like, you had to go look for your content. It wasn't like you could go on Snapchat or Instagram and see. You had to go dig for your content. So you may spend an hour before your show getting content. You may spend 30 minutes before your show. You may have done it before you got there. Like, it all depends. Like, midday is different because you're talking to the listener. You're at work. You're engaging with the person that, the mom that had to drop off her son to school. Now she back in the car listening, and she at work. She didn't, went to lunch, and you got to make sure you stay entertaining.
Got you. But for you, when you first started though, you were doing mixes and you wasn't talking. So you were doing mixes.
I was doing well because I moved from one station, and I was doing. What was I doing over there? I was doing overnights and sometimes nights. So I would like come in. But what was crazy about it was when I worked at this other station, I worked and I almost did everything. So I would work on the old school station sometimes. I worked on the gospel station sometimes. Like when I thought I was just gonna go to hell. One time they had me on the gospel station. I was just like, and it was like, yo, they like you so much over here. Like I was just like, okay, all right, cool. But I did a lot. Like, and in those times oh yeah, I do it. Like you just hype to say you doing it. So that's what it was for me. Like I was just wanted to do it. So overnights, some nights, and then the weekends for sure. And then when your situations change, which I moved to Power, and my situations changed. So I went from doing Sunday nights, which was like the quiet storm. And it was the weirdest thing because you had all the chicks that would call into the quiet storm and try to figure out who you were. And, it was a great 4 years of my life. Like, I don't think I ever ate out. It was just that dope.
That was a cool way of saying pushing P.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, that was pushing P then. That was extremely pushing P.
How you feel about that pushing P shit? You feel like we getting old?
No, I think everything revolves. Like everything is happening over. Like we were talking about records, right? So the record companies, like I would go to my mailbox, and they would say, "Hold on, stay right there. You got some mail." I'd be like, "I got mail." So they would come out with, like, I would have to go in 2 times to get all my mail, but it would be records. The record companies got away from records, CDs, then they went to MP3s. But we've gone back to records because if you look in Walmart, they're selling record players now. They're selling albums. So we kind of back to the same thing. Like, and everything is just doing the same thing over. It's just in a different way. It may be a little bit quicker, or like I don't even understand the record because the record companies had a big problem with doing records at that time. So I don't even understand why they came back to records. But
What
I
you
get
mean by that though?
Because like the record companies lost a lot of money with the bootlegging and things of that nature. So for them to have records out, and when I tell you, like, dude, I would have records like maybe 200 records every time my mail would come, and like those were the glory days. You know what I'm saying?
I was that time period between CDs and digital music. A lot of artists wasn't making music. How was that time for DJs?
It was weird because it was just like the email thing came in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was like, "Oh, you got to get an email."
Making money.
Yeah. Like, and the money, like, because you got to think it wasn't so hard. It was harder for a DJ to become a DJ. Mm-hmm. Like, you didn't have access to the music just that quick. You had to. That's why, like, bootlegging, everybody would be a bootlegger because, if you're in a small town, you don't have the music, like, you know what I'm saying, like that. So you got a bootlegger in town. He got CDs with the new Juvenile on it, or the new Jay-Z on it. You trying to get it, you know what I'm saying? So
this was like the mix CD.
Yeah, this was like
new artists at the end.
Yeah. Like, and it was crazy because my name had got so big. I had somebody out here really put my name on CDs. And one time, this club owner called me and was like, "Yo, I don't rock with you, so don't put your CDs out in my parking lot." I say, "CDs?" Yeah. So he sent me a picture of it, and I was like, "Bro, I ain't did this." So somebody out like really with like a whole.
Was it an older club?
No, it was like it was a spot at the time. Like it was like the Saturday night spot at the time.
I'm saying, is it closed down now though?
Yeah, it's closed down.
Okay.
I don't think there's no club. Like maybe Velvet. Like Velvet is still like.
Was this? Oh nah, this was a little current. This wasn't like the Pappy era and stuff like that.
No, this wasn't the Pappy era. Because most of those places are like what's crazy. From Deans Ridge Road to Old Savannah, there were like 2 of the dopest clubs. Hoppo's was one of them.
I heard of that too.
And Johnny's Supper Club. So that was a thing like back in the day.
See, when I moved here, y'all was going crazy at Creams. That was the spot.
That was the spot. Yeah, that was the spot.
And then Dream came and kind of messed that up a little
bit.
Well,
it wasn't. It was just the Dream and Cream, and people really don't listen at the time. So wherever you at, that whole era was like a mess, because that's what kind of dumbed everything that I was doing down, because I was doing like maybe 4 to 5 clubs a night. And this is when you could go out Monday through Sunday and really have something to do every night of the week. Like you had somewhere to go and it was going to be a nice crowd.
As far as like getting them gigs though with the club, like do you feel like it's like stiff competition on that, or you feel like it's enough clubs for everybody to kind of DJ at?
It's enough clubs for everybody to DJ. I just wish with and this is like, it's no shot at nobody. I just wish everybody would realize their worth and go up, because you got to think about this. Once the music go off, what's the first person they looking at? They ain't looking at the bartenders. They're not looking at the security. But we got the security guards going up. You got photographers going up. Like
right at you, like, yeah, nigga.
I know, but like
straight at me.
But no, he works, at venues that we do. Like, so you got to think, when your photographer get more than your DJ, sometimes you looking like, the respect for the game has diminished.
Well, that's a good conversation to have, because at the same time, I feel like a lot of time when people do have them photographers coming in, it's kind of like a not private, but it's like a request. So that one quote unquote like rapper or something like that. I know you do a lot of stuff in there for like rappers or whatever. So I mean, really, if your price is your price and they want to pay that, it's fine. So
it is what it is. Yeah, but because of how the music game is now, like, I thought it was dope. My computer crashed about 3 months ago, and I had one on the spare, and my homeboy was like, "Listen, just get Tidal, and just open up your internet, and you'll be good." And sure enough, all I did was, if I could think about it, the song, type it in, and it came up. So like, it's made it easier for anybody to become a DJ.
Yeah, so, that's how my homeboy started.
But to that point though, like, I'm not saying they shouldn't, because I think that they should, but like,
why?
If anybody think that,
but why?
But why? I think she get more money.
Well, no. Why should anybody just become a DJ?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay,
I was saying
okay.
that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if it's easier for anybody to come one, then the value does come down.
But
because if I got Tidal and then
when the last time you been to a
club?
When the last time you been to a club? When the last
they ain't like the music. They like the music.
Okay,
like the music.
But see, that's the problem with it. Like, people think you just get, I get a laptop, I get a controller, I get some speakers from Guitar Center, which Guitar Center selling like becoming speakers, and then you see all these Renter Center speakers out. Like, everybody just want to become a DJ because they just feel like that's the thing, and that's just not. Like, it goes back to when I was a kid, like, and when Lance was DJing, it was a feeling that you had. Like, you asked about what's the preparation for your show? It's the feeling. And if you don't put the people in their feel, like, and it's crazy to say, but if you don't put these people in their feelings, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? And like sayings like last night, the DJ saved my life. Those are things that any DJ should want the people to feel about them. That's why, like, people say what they want, but that's why I've been so influential in the market and just in the industry, because it's a feeling that you get when you come to a Kid Joe party.
Yeah, but like, and I agree with you saying, because I'll be more on that side when you care about something, right? And like, let's continue to pick on Slim, like with the photography.
No, and I'm not. Listen, hold on. I'm just saying. Yeah, let me not.
Anybody can go buy a camera and get a lens too, and just hit pictures and be like, "Hey, I'm Slim charging what, 200? I do for 50." And now he also out of something.
But if you like, and that's the thing where sometimes the club experience is kind of off sometimes, because you may have a good DJ, but the sound system sounds horrible. Or you may have a bad DJ and the sound system sounds great. Or you may have a great event and the camera or the picture or the photographer or the videographer takes all the wrong pictures and doesn't capture the party. So
So all kind of intertwined.
Yeah, it kind of
So
like
I was going to ask like what you think
a
is the
good
most
event
important
is
component
a
to
good
a
event.
good club night.
A good event is like a good cake. Like everybody has to play their part. The waitresses have to be on point. You even you coming in the establishment plays a good part on like, did I have to wait too long, or was it worth the wait when I got in?
Extra pat down.
Yeah, like was
Aggressive.
it right now? That's kind of necessary. At
Niggas
this
be
point.
aggressive. I don't know.
Yeah,
Wild,
like,
bro.
but it's all like a good event is like a good cake, or like some good macaroni. Like it's got to have all the ingredients there. If one thing is missing, the whole thing is off.
Macaroni with no milk.
Or no cheese. Like it's just, and you can have a great looking macaroni, because that's what a lot of events have been like. The presentation has been good, but when you get there, you be like, man, where am I and why am I here? And how did I get caught up? Like, it used to hit me like that from listening to the radio, and we would do these commercials for these spots. They had this spot in Edgefield. It's called Club 3000. But from everybody that went before me, you were just thinking like, oh my gosh, this club is going to be amazing. So, I mean, those are just, the times and what makes events, I think. Not like
You think
you
the
say
bartenders
club.
get paid more than the DJs?
Some of them.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I got a home with a bartend. This nigga be making like $300, $400, $500 a night.
No, he could. And
Shout out my nigga Cooks.
yeah, Cooks is on it. Cooks is on it. Yeah, Cooks is on
But
it.
see, also because but I do feel like, and I don't know if this is getting too much into it, but like I also see he'll post a picture and be like, "Hey, I'm at this spot tonight."
But
Yeah,
that's-
so he doing more than bartenders.
Yeah,
right? At
but
that
you,
point,
yeah,
at
but
that
you
point, become
promote, you're
promoter.
promoting, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
but
You
people
really
don't
supposed to
understand
do
it.
that, for real.
You're supposed to do that. Like, you are supposed to do that. Like, that's what made me like even a promoter, like, because the
Now we
kid.
get into what I want to talk about.
Yeah,
Do the promoter get more than the DJ?
Oh,
He could.
promoters.
He
Nah,
could.
talk about that. How do promoters make money, and how did you get into promoting?
I got
Answer
a
the question first.
well, which part of the question you want me to answer?
How did you get into promoting, and then how do promoters get paid?
It goes back to, like, everything. You can take something from everything in the industry. So it went back to watching how they promote artists. And then it went back to, hold on, if the club making 10,000 when I'm here, and I'm only making 400, that math is off at that time. Because now it's, the math is just, we dividing the 4 and carrying the 1. It's just all off now. But
Don't tell on yourself too much.
I mean, no, because, one thing about me, I'm going to be transparent with what it is. Like, I'm never going to hide something because I don't want, there's some kid out there that wants that. And that's what I think I did. I generated or made it look fun for a generation of DJs or a generation of people that say, you know what, I can DJ. But I want to give you the truth to it too. Like, it's so many times that I go in a club and I be like, yo, he playing all the good shit now. And it's 11:30. But typically, what time people get to the club?
About 12:30.
12:30, 12:45. They all come in on a bus. They all come in.
For real.
They all come in on a bus. So
Man,
it started.
man, oh, my bad.
Oh, go ahead.
Man, you ever went to like a club or a bar like super early and then was just there all night, and right when you was about to go,
Everybody started coming in.
everybody.
That's how it was last time. They started coming in
Yeah,
late.
if you come to a club about 9 o'clock,
You
not only will you be able to get in free, you'll get drinks as much as you want. And then as soon as you get feeling good, been drinking, and it hit about 12:30, like he just said, it's gonna be a long ass line, and everybody gonna come in there.
And they just started, and you just like, oh gosh, I got to go back
And
in
the
and try
club
this
closed
up.
at 1:30.
Yeah, well, I mean, 2, like, respectfully, but it depends on what's going on. Like,
Ain't no
it's-
close time. I had to learn that.
Huh?
It's really not a close time. They close when they stop making money. Well, when they feel like they made enough money.
Not really, because there's still some club owners that want their people to enjoy the night, and that's the job of a promoter. Like, and that's what it kind of took the love of putting the event together promoting the event, waiting for people to get there, people having a great time, people leaving, and then people talking about your event afterwards, making it where you didn't need all the social media at the time. Like you could just do a great event, people knew about it, talked about it. So for the next time, you did it. Like it was times where I would go into small county towns and they would have a flyer up with no picture on it, just the words. So I was just like, this is what they need. So it was a learning event for me because the people that came to my party, I had picture men back then. So the people that came to my party, I would put them on the flyers.
Somebody told me Tyshawn started that.
Nah. Tyshawn started, he made people's birthdays popular.
Oh, that's what it was then. That's what they was talking about.
He made people's, and he doesn't get a lot of credit, but I mean, when you've been doing it as long, and we were all just like kids when we like started this, and we didn't know, we were just watching. We had Tyshawn really like had been out of town, and that's with me. I had been out of town and seeing different parties and seeing how the party should operate. Because I'm weird when I go to a party out of town. I want to see how everything operates, from the lighting system to the sound system. Where's the sound system placed? How the bartender's working. Like I watch those mechanics. Like I went to New York and it freaked me out because as soon as you come out the club, they got flyers all over the ground. I was just like, why they got all these flyers on? But it was like you couldn't even see the street. It was just flyers everywhere. Mm-hmm. But what people would do is just throw the flyers on the floor. But you being curious, like, why they got all this? So you pick, and that's what I did. So the flyer game was important at that time. Like there are so many things that just kind of re-evolve and bring themselves back.
Is it, I guess I'm just asking for me, money wise, is it more in clubbing or radio?
Radio is like TV. And when I say that, and I always say this because they were pioneers in what they did and how they did it, and they made it look good. AJ and Free, like they weren't making a lot of money. Because remember when it was time for them to renew their contracts, it was like, nah, it ain't enough money. Mm-hmm. But you got to think, if you look at the decade that they went and did 106 in Park, it was just like, they had to make money. Nelly came out there. Like it just, Mary J. Blige, so it's in the endorsements and your relationships. So, with me.
How does a promoter get paid though?
A promoter get paid by how they promote. And how do they assemble a party?
So do they get paid off the door? Or?
Yeah, they get paid off the door.
Okay.
But sometimes your expenses can bite into you. And, with this day and time, security is like your first thing. You damn near
talk about that. So I'm not a club anyway, so I'm trying to get the components of a club. I'm trying to see. So you got the DJ, you got security.
Hold on.
Oh no, go ahead.
So go back.
DJ.
Go back.
Nobody.
Yeah,
you got to get the idea to go. You got to get the idea. What's gonna bring them to the party?
Mm-hmm. So
then you go there.
He's saying before the party even start, you got to have the marketing, the promotion. You got to have the flyer.
Yeah.
You got to have somebody make the flyer. Like we had Dorian in here. Dorian make a lot of flyers for clubs around here.
And he was Dorian was in an area.
You used to do shows with him too, right?
Yeah. We did shows, a lot of different shows together.
But a lot of these clubs, they open only 5 nights a week, every night, 3 nights.
Nah, because of social media really killed a lot of stuff. And it's
hold on, we gonna break down the club and who gets paid where, but you just hit on a very important part. Like, what's club life now versus how it was before? Because people told me before it was kind of like the street team. You had to be out there handing out flyers.
It was like running for office. Like,
people basically pick and choose where they're gonna go.
Because it's like, I can go up here and see. I ain't never seen her before. She with who? Okay, so if somebody tags somebody, you go in and it's automatic. Promoters do it. I hate when a promoter tag another promoter that I'm doing a party with. Like, I very seldomly promote and tag people because promoters are in there looking like, I ain't friends with them, so they go and grab all your friends. So you have to even be strategic now more with how you promote stuff.
All right, so back to what you were saying, man. You said, so now we passed, you got the flyer and everything, then the DJ got to get paid, and you was talking about security. And you said security done went up. That's a big chunk. Security. Somebody told me, like, I'm going to just say it. They said basically the security at Truth make $80 a night.
I don't know.
And the security at 706 make $50 a night. That's what I was told.
That's totally not true. I know that now because all those guys are exceeded. Like those type of numbers were 10 years ago. You could go get 4 security guards for $200. It's way higher than that. Like it's way higher than that. Like your security bill can eat up because you got, just say you get 6 security guards on the inside and you get a cop on the outside. You had $1,000 just right there. Ooh. You just had $1,000. And I just wish, like,
who all gets that $1,000 though? Is it the person that owns the security team?
No, it's split up between those workers? It's split up between the workers. And then your cops and things like that. But you had $1,000 just with security.
And I guess that's my question, because I would feel like it would depend on like what you feel like is more important that particular night. You want
listen.
On a regular basis,
as owning a business, being a promoter, being a DJ, you want people to go home and talk about you the night after the event. You don't want people to talk about you and saying, somebody got hurt or I had to run out the club. Like that's the worst thing in the world for something to happen. You know what I'm saying? So it's safety first, and then a good time.
Now for bartender, I do have a bartender on here too at one point, but like, don't they have to get like a license or something to be doing that, or they don't have to?
No, they
got to have some kind of certification.
Yeah, like there's different certifications.
So out of everybody in the club, that's the one person that has to have some kind of certification to be there.
Not really.
You don't have to have one to be on DJ.
You do have to have like I mean, you don't have to.
I couldn't DJ a club,
but you would have to have your paperwork together, like your LLC, your taxes. That type of.
You got to be a business.
Yeah, you got to be a business. Like so, it's a business. So people get offended by when I give you my price. It's just yeah. And I was listening to somebody the other day, and they was just like, your brand, your price is your brand. And that was just like, whoa, like, he right. Cause I'm telling you, like, just one of my turntables at the time I bought it was like, what, $700? You know what I'm saying? So you can't recoup that in one night if you're a DJ. That's why I don't understand why a lot of them sell themselves short. Everybody else has gone up on their price. Even the flyer people that do flyers now. You got the motion flyers. You got some people. I was inquiring about some flyer work. Dudes say like, yo, one of my flyers by itself is $300.
And that's before the party starts.
That's before the party starts.
Hey, that's his price, man. What you gonna do, right? Hey, you jump back. You gotta let it ride.
When you the promoter, who else get paid? So
before you just security,
we just list security. We list the DJ. We list
bottle
the bartenders.
Yeah, the bottle girls. Now that's the thing.
That's the thing now. Yeah,
that's the thing now. Bottle girls.
I'm gonna be honest with you. The bottle girl thing is weird.
Why you say that?
Okay, so first off, I'm not a club guy.
Okay.
But, I've been in clubs. When I was young, I used to club a little bit. And then, I've been working with you lately, like the last 2-3 months. The bottle girl thing is weird.
Hey, hold on. You made that sound kind of like I paid to be on here now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean, people do pay to come here. But, nah, that ain't got nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, no, I've been working with you in the club.
Yeah.
I've been working for you. You want me to say that? That sounds better?
That don't even sound good. Cause
it's the truth. I've been working for you.
Yeah.
So, the bottle girl thing, man, they basically they like strippers that bring the bottles out, but they not strippers. But it's like
in the same, you have to.
And that's no offense to the bottle girls.
But listen. One thing I can say about some of these bottle girls hustle is meaning than some of the DJs because they actually have clientele. Now, depending on where you're at and what markets you go into, strip clubs. LA, you can't
Get naked.
Yeah, you can't get naked. So it's the equivalent of going to a strip club in LA. They can't get naked. They got to have on top and bottom, but you can still tip them. So I have a lot of respect for the girls that's out here promoting that they do bottle girls. Now I'm gonna tell you the weird thing for me is this OnlyFans.
I knew that was coming. Jesus Christ! I smell OnlyFans in the room somewhere.
Listen, now that's the weird thing for me because I can't see me being a DJ like, oh, so I'm paying for your pictures now? Cool.
It's crazy you say that because
So,
I can see the OnlyFans.
What's the
more than
difference
the
though?
bottle
So
girl.
like the bottle girl, they bring you a bottle. Can you touch them?
You really can't touch them.
So you can't touch them, but you can smell them. That make you tip them.
I mean, I guess if
Like,
you
ooh, you smell good.
if you on that, like, yeah, I guess
I
so.
mean,
But
okay.
on OnlyFans, they might be playing with themselves. They could be doing a lot of
Yeah.
different things. Like,
Yeah, they got
I'd
little
probably
secret
rather see you
videos.
do that than maybe
Yeah.
smell you.
Bro, the bottle girl thing too, and I'm glad we brought this up because man, we definitely got to make a clip out of this. So, Truth posted their bottle service
Okay.
prices, right?
Okay, I
and it
wanna
went
touch on it.
crazy.
Okay, but
like
why?
500 people shared it, right?
But why?
Why did they share it?
If you go listen, this is what kills me because what's crazy about this, and it's a dislike because we'll go everywhere else.
That's what I was about to
And
say.
we'll do the bare minimum, meaning we'll get one drink. We have a bar set up in our room. We'll share a room with 6 other people, but we're gonna make it look amazing in the club. And we standing in the general section and everything else. What happens is it's crazy because people will go out of town and make out of town look way better than what they got here at home. Mm-hmm. And there's some dope stuff here. Even with going out, it's dope stuff here, but people don't ever give it a chance because if I know you, hey man, y'all, what y'all got going on tonight? You ain't called me all week. You ain't called me all week. You ain't called me all month. But you hear I got something going on. Man, let me call him and get in. Man, listen, man, leave my name at the door now, man. Don't play, man. I'm gonna be there. Why we can't treat the home like we treat out of town?
See, I agree. And what I was gonna say is everybody was sharing that. It had like 500 something shares, and everybody was like,
But you'll
200
see,
for some Bel Air.
I can guarantee you, if you go out of town, those prices are a little bit more, and the drinks are a little bit more.
Oh, I know. Like it's crazy. Me and Mayo had a conversation, and what I had said, I think the Casamigo on that list was like $300 or something, and I was like, that's cheap as hell. And Mayo was like, hell yeah, out here in Atlanta, that shit like $800-900.
Listen, do you understand what? Listen, by the time we did a party, me, Ty, and Alex, we did a party in at Sweets Lounge at the rooftop. So we did a party there, and I wasn't thinking because I was just like, I'm coming back the same night. Y'all got 3 drinks, and by that time, I was close. I was like $50 off from. I should have just bought a bottle.
Where you was at?
We was at Sweets. Not
Oh,
Sweet,
okay.
well, yeah, Sweet Lounge.
Hold up. We gotta tie this together because man looking like, what the hell y'all talking about, bruh?
Okay, so liquor prices.
I knew. I seen the flyer. I know.
Oh
I seen
yeah,
it, yeah.
but
the same fine. You
I
follow
want
the
him to
same people.
explain the bottle service. Like what's the price for what comes with the bottle service and why is it so high?
What
'Cause
happens
a lot of people
is,
want to know that.
but what happens is, the club has to pay taxes on the liquor, and that's what people don't understand. But you're also they sell liquor. Clubs don't make money from the door; they make money from the liquor and food sales. That's why in going to get a license for a club, if you're selling food, it has to exceed that. Like you have to have more food sales than liquor for it to all intertwine.
Right.
And everybody has
Cigar shops the same way.
Yeah.
too.
It's a weird math, but once they sit you down and they give you a big pamphlet and tell you all the things, all the do's and all the don'ts, that's typically how it happens and the way it happens. So getting drinks where an average drink in Augusta may cost you about $8, $7. Mm-hmm. In Atlanta, you're gonna pay 15, maybe 20. Cause I know this shot was like 21. I paid 25 for that and a Red Bull. So by the time I go 3 to 4 times, I'm at 100. Then you don't want, you in Atlanta, so you don't want to look like a lame and not tip or nothing, you know, because I know some people go up there and I ain't getting that much nothing and walk off, like, you know what I'm saying? But you throwing the party, you can't just walk off and not. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So that's just one of those things to throwing parties.
I think from this conversation, it sounds like the place to be is bartending. They making the money.
Right now it is, because you could do.
That's the most important part of it.
A star tender.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depending on the your preference, like how you rock. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, and if you're a good bartender, I mean, listen, one bartender that I've seen, like you said, cooks, but Turbo has been one that
Turbo too.
That if you ever try to, like, and I always told her, like, because I used to bring her to the country, like when I used to be in the like rural towns, like, hey man, let's put on the flyer. I brought her to a birthday party one time and turned up. But like when you can earn that respect on, and she was charging then. She was charging more than some of the DJs was getting paid. Well, she was charging more than all the DJs was getting paid.
I mean, don't tell me your price, but like, I guess, like, what's the average? What do DJs make on an average night, like DJing? Or tell me your old price. How much you was making in?
My old price was $350.
Okay, $350 a night.
Yeah.
Plus what? That's just $350. That's
it's just like for the night. That's $350.
So whether you go crazy or it's just
no matter how dumb you go, like no. Now it was one club I used to work at. Touch of Class. It was on Damascus Road, right down from another club down the street. And that club used to be called Choo Choo's back in the day, and that was one of the clubs that stayed open till 4:00 in the morning. But Touch of Class, when they would do good, they would give bonuses and things of that nature. And by that time, I was working 4 nights a week at the same spot. So that's why I learned and figured out a mentality of how to DJ at the same spot 3 times a week.
I'm glad you brought that up. What have, in your opinion, what has done better for you? Like DJing the same spot during the week or DJing different clubs? Because I would only imagine, I'm not sure, are different clubs getting different numbers?
No, your number is your number as far as I'm concerned. My number is my number. Like, it is what it is. Like, you're not going to see me on a lot, like if I'm not promoting a party. And there's some promoters like that say, yo, that's what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do. Like, we're going to pay Kid Joe. Like, so, but your price is your price.
What would you say is the, what's your reputation in the city? Do most promoters like you or not really?
But you gotta.
That's a question I really don't know.
So listen. As a promoter, me being a promoter, I don't want to DJ my own party because there are things that I have to handle, and he'll tell you, like, I'm running around trying to make sure this artist got ones, this artist got his bottle, like, oh, hold on, they got too many guests, they got to get out the furniture. It's just a whole bunch of different stuff that I'm doing as a promoter. So as a promoter, like, I wouldn't blame, as the other promoters, I don't blame them for taking a lesser, cost for a DJ because everything else is so high.
Okay.
I don't blame that. I don't blame that.
Sometimes a promoter will pick another DJ, not because necessarily they're better, but they cheaper.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because there's a lot of DJs in the city that's DJing for $200. It's a lot on.
Why you be saying it like that? Yo,
that's what it is.
I don't know if you know, but how his questioning, like,
his questions. No, listen, and I always tell him, he always kind of put you in a situation where you can either answer it and answer it on some asshole.
Let me tell you, he just said
he'll set you up for.
He said it. He was quiet, like,
yeah, like, I'm gonna see what you gonna say. Yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing.
You know what's crazy? I've been holding that one too.
He said the exact number and everything, $200.
Yeah, like, I'm not gonna say nothing. God bless him.
That's
God
funny.
bless
That's funny.
God bless him.
That is funny as hell.
Man, busted me out. I was holding that one for the perfect time.
And I knew it was coming. I was just like,
But you really been doing it a lot. But he been playing it smooth. Like,
listen, that's why I said I wasn't drinking when I come in here because I knew it's gonna be all the people that's gonna be watching.
Slim came in, he put the bottle right there.
Yeah, listen. And see, he messed up because I don't drink brown, so I was already. Oh yeah, I'm good.
Like, he literally just said, and you walked in, like, he was just talking about that, and you like, we talking about, that's why he was quiet. I was like, I ain't gonna say it.
And listen, and what's crazy, I got liquor in my car. I just ride around because I'm the party at all the time. Like, so, like, you don't drink what I drink, oh well. But we gonna have a good time.
I ain't that strategic though. Don't give me that much credit.
I'll give you that. Because we talked, so I kind of know that you were going to try.
Give the credit, trust me.
I think like, and you got to understand, I do interviews too, so like.
Yeah, but he do this for a living.
So it's almost one of them things where, oh yeah, I know how to set him up and bring this up, but I never have been one of those people that try to get controversy when I ask questions. I always have enough, like, and not saying you did anything wrong. I mean, this is a podcast, so typically that would have been the thing. Yeah. When I start mine, because somebody was.
Oh, that's the next thing. That's the next thing we get into.
Yeah, like.
So you bringing that perfect.
Yeah, so it wasn't right. So I'm gonna try that. But I always kind of want to be in a comfortable atmosphere. So if somebody fight or somebody, no, fuck this, I got to get out of here. Like upset, I want to be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So no, I was ready for you. I knew you was coming with the bullshit tonight. I kind of figured it.
That's funny. But you did mention the podcast, and then that was one thing I was going to bring up because I had posted, well, Slim was telling me post some reels and stuff like that. So I try to do one a week if I can. I don't that ain't my thing, but
I know.
I have to take his advice, because if I don't, he going to get on here and say,
oh no, listen, because I'm working with myself too.
You don't though.
Yeah, I know. Listen to nobody, but so I posted the reel, and I can't remember verbatim, but I know I was saying like when I did start podcasting, I didn't. Nobody
you were the only one. Yeah.
And then you was. I don't know if you said that's debatable or.
Yeah, I said that that's debatable because at that time, now I got all the respect in the world for you because you actually made a hustle out of it, and you made it like where people respect you in the game. But for the longest, I've been doing it, and that's why I was saying that it wouldn't be like, whoa, nigga, like. But everybody, like Charlamagne said a while back, everybody want to go at the radio guy, but typically we sit like, and with the corporation that I work for, we have to sit in the meetings. Like I can't tell you how many social media meetings I've been in. How many times I got emails like, yo, you didn't post on your social media, like, or you didn't put you didn't put right. I think Bankroll Fresh had just got killed, right? So I reposted about the killer, but I reposted it on the page, and it was just like one of them ones that sent us up where they go by numbers, they go by stacks and numbers. So it was just like it hit, and it was just like what they call the lightning in the bottle. And it hit, and like it set us up for the year. So I really didn't even have to post if I didn't want to, because we had already made the goal for the year. So that's why I was saying with that comment, because it just ain't never been the right time. But I've been doing it because I still got all my old interviews. Right. You know what I'm saying?
So, and I guess that's why I was puzzled by it, but I wasn't like, I was working.
And like, yeah, that's how my conversation, that's how my interviews, my radio interviews are.
But what I meant when I was saying that was, it was not, I wasn't even coming at the radio thing. I was saying that people, not people on the radio, people that had these little shows, people that had shows would say, okay, let's say Augusta Radio, they name radio, and it went from adding radio to it to adding podcast to it because it became popular to say podcast. That's all. I wasn't saying like
I got a friend right now. I got a friend right now, and he has one of the biggest podcasts, and he got out of radio to get to finish, like, to work with his podcast. DJ Scream is a great friend of mine.
Yeah, I like that. I like that show.
And it was a great thing. I think it was dope when they added Jade. I think it was dope when they added Jade to it. So
yeah, I watched their show actually a lot. I watched a lot of interviews on there. It's dope.
Yeah. So no, that's the only. It would like, because people like to start beef with stuff. So I don't want it.
Nah, I always take and I tell anybody I'm on the phone with, I take it. I like it because I've seen you because I think my second time meeting you was, I was producing Mo's at the time. Shout out to Mo.
Yeah, big shots going on.
And you was on there, and then afterwards we spoke for a minute, but then I seen you when I was at work.
Yeah.
And you was like, yo, it's some equipment, just regular stuff, right? Yeah. But that to me, like people like me and Slim, mean a lot to us because I know for a fact you can get them answers if you wanted to. You don't have to ask me. You know what I'm saying? Like you working radio.
Yeah, so like, yeah, and you know what? They always would say, you could do it right here. Like they would always say that.
I thought the same, me and him say the same thing. Like, I don't do radio.
Cause it's an element that you can do, like it's the weed smoking. Like you want somebody like,
gotcha.
and when I would always keep a bottle, like he said, I would always keep a bottle in the station. So if you come in the station, I got a full bar. But it's because I get some of the best interviews, and I don't ever try to interview you. Let's talk.
Got you.
And that was always my method. Let's just talk. Let's talk. See what you got going on.
Yeah.
So
it's different interviewing style. Like I tell people all the time, the biggest difference between me and Maine is a interviewer. Like, and I don't mean nothing when I say this because everybody always laugh, but he reminds me of Angie Martinez.
I love Angie Martinez.
That's his interviewing style.
Okay.
Me, I'm just a shit talker. You get in front of me, we have an interview, we gonna have a conversation. Yeah. It's not gonna be like interview style where I'll be like, so where you from?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But both of them get the jobs, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And I can see why you say Angie, because you from where in New York?
I'm from Brooklyn.
You're from Brooklyn, all right. Yeah. And they pride themselves, Brooklyners and New Yorkers.
Oh no, I say Angie because Maine is the type person when he have you on, he make you feel comfortable, and then you feel okay telling him stuff that you normally wouldn't say on the microphone. So that's why
I can get that because we did the last interview when we did it for, and he went and you got it like. And that's just elevation where, because I started from being the last person they called to, and that's how really I got extremely hot. Like I used to do mail reviews, and it was one of them things that I hated coming up doing, but I learned a lot from the mail reviews.
Right.
Like you just learn, and that's why my approach has always been for women. Like, and that hadn't been like on no sexual pervert type. It's just certain things that go on in the mail reviews, you be like, they get away with this shit? And that's just what it's been for me.
You make a good point, because when I did interview you at when it was on 520 Radio, their style up there was different. I got a lot of respect for 520 Radio. Like, I'm gonna talk about that in another episode though. But like, I wasn't even the one supposed to interview you. It was how they had it set up was like it'd be 3 interviewers there, but it'd be so say it's us 3 and then say somebody come in the room. That's your interview. It just so happened that I felt like I had better questions than the other two because I heard of him and I was like, I had to ask him this or this. And they were asking him questions, but not the ones I could tell he did. No respect to them, but it wasn't the ones that he really wanted to answer. And that's how I knew the story of the Kid Joe thing, all that stuff. They didn't ask that.
It's a like the story is deep and like it was a lot of like, yo, in the last 7 years I've lost 17 family members, and throughout all them. And this is a story that I don't tell a lot because it's just a lot. Like, yo, I had to still remain Kid Joe. And even to this day, my parents kind of don't understand that because a lot of people say, hey, has your son been around? And I'm just like, yo, listen, I'm doing 2 radio stations. I got some other things that I'm working on. It's always been a dream. I always get real close and somebody in the middle. I want to get an artist from Augusta signed. There's just a lot of different things, and I have a business. My daughter has a YouTube channel that before the pandemic she had 20 subscribers. Now she's up to 4,000, and she gets.
Shout out to her.
Yeah, she's getting. Yeah, shots going out the bug. She hate when I call her bug. So she's getting stuff sent to her. Checks cut.
That's dope.
Yeah, so like it's dope to see. So even when we did the 520 radio, it was just like, I'm from here.
Right.
I can tell you how to get from here to Apple Valley and take a back road. I can tell you how to get from here to Grovetown and where you won't meet a lot of lights. So those are things that people don't realize, and I don't take for granted, but I want to give back to that. And there's a lot of things that I'm going to continue to give back to, but it's just one of those things that I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? I just lost my brother not too long ago, like maybe 5 months ago.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that.
Yeah, so.
Definitely sorry to hear that too. I know that. You all follow you, so I can tell it's days where like you up, and then it's days where just.
Well, you know what? It's always days you have more things that you think about because I'll give you a great story. So we were bringing Boosie. Augusta was the second show.
You told me this the other day.
A second show on the tour, And if we know anything about Boosie, Augusta love Boosie, and Boosie love Augusta. My nephew get hit by a car. He was running from a dog and got hit. Like, yo, that was the craziest thing because I'm kind of at war with the city. Like, we still trying to put the show on. Like, everything was in line for him to be here. I'll just say, due to people in power, the ball got dropped, but it wasn't on the fault of mine. But I still had to maintain head up high and keep it moving. So a lot of times when people think, oh, I'm being arrogant, I'm hella cocky. I mean, I talk to anybody. It's just the approach of how you talk, because you never know what a person is dealing with throughout the course of the day.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to anybody. Just make it make sense for both of us. Like, let your approach be, because I wouldn't approach you fucked up. Like, hey, nigga, like, what, you know what I'm saying? I always try to kind of keep it in content or keep it cool where it doesn't offend you or I don't get offended. You know what I'm saying? So those are just some of the things that I call myself the crown holder. Like, I've been through a lot of shit. Like, and you still have to kind of...
Through it all, you still got to kind of...
you still got to handle it. Like, I'm still, like... You got to think I was furloughed from the station, like, during the pandemic with another contract on the horizon. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I didn't know about a COVID or none of that shit. Like, but to do that and then say, well, I'm not on the station for a minute, but I'm on Facebook. And my Facebook numbers are crazy. Like, if you put, and it's no disrespect, this is just men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Like, if you put all the DJs together, they still didn't get the numbers that I got socially on. And people say, well, you got 5 or 6 pages. Well, I'm a marketer. Like, that's just what it is. Like,
but that make it worse if you got 5 or 6 pages because that's more numbers to spread
out.
But...
Not really, because if you're doing it all from one page and you're not really advertising, people doing it for you, it speaks for yourself. It speaks volume. That's why you got bartenders making more than some DJs.
Nah, that make a lot of sense, though. Make a lot of sense.
Social media following.
Yeah, I mean, it's just how you entertain the people.
Staying on topic of podcasting, though, how's radio now that podcasting has become a bigger thing? And
as you can see,
more people listen to podcasts. I don't know.
Yeah, numbers, as you can see, like, everybody come to iHeart for their podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's one platform that you want to get on, no matter. Everybody want to put that heart on their flyer some kind of way.
Right.
You could go get but so it's just about making sure you stay with content. So you have to know what pushing P is and be able to make it sound cool and not sound, because you do have people that don't understand it. That's not of the culture.
Makes sense.
That mean me and Maine a little weird then, because we ain't never been to radio guys.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, one thing I will say is I never been one because that opportunity when it did come, I didn't want it at the time. I was like, nah.
And sometimes it's not right.
That's all. I wanted to build my own stuff
and like
up.
it's about timing.
But to be honest with you, like, I feel like the podcast thing. I don't know. You can speak more to this. I can do radio, and this don't have to stop.
Yeah.
Unless contractually, I just couldn't do something like that. That'd be different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you're gonna pay me to talk.
Believe it or not,
I'm gonna do it for free.
But no, like, stations want that now.
They want you to have your own following.
But you know what's weird though? I've had conversations with people from radio, and whenever they had conversations, they always try to pitch this ideal that has nothing to do with who you are. So that's why I.
But let me ask you this: did somebody approach you that's not of the culture? They were of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So that goes back to they don't really understand radio.
Okay.
Think about it.
I would say this though. Now, this is the type of person I am, and I would be willing to change depending on the money and stuff. But I think with radio, and I watch you just from afar. I do think that it's a lot of things that people don't take into account. You have to do.
Yeah,
it's not just going up there talking and going home.
Like, bro, listen,
promo you gotta do.
No,
clubs
it's
you gotta
meaty.
go to.
It's meaty.
Parties,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna lie though.
Be around stars that you
If
probably
Joe
don't.
can do radio, I know I can do radio.
Joe
How
who?
you figure that?
Joe,
Cause
who?
you be cutting up.
Oh, him?
I mean,
Yeah.
but it's not
You be
always about the
cutting
cut up. And like before, like,
Nah, I'm not talking about on radio. I'm talking about like when you be DJing, you be cutting up. So I be like,
yeah, but I always
if he can
tell
do radio, I can do radio.
Nah, but it's like.
Slim can't do radio.
I'm gonna just tell. I'm gonna tell you, it's a lot more than just what you like, and that's what people see. People
A lot of
see
business.
people see the end result. People don't see me up. Like I was up this morning at 5, but I was just trying to find like there's something that's missing, and you know, I'm always one to try to figure out a different way to go at something, whether it be the podcast, whether it be the promotion, like whether it be the DJing. Like, and right now, that's what my biggest thing is. I've been listening to the DJs from out of town, and what's the difference? I mean, they don't play a lot of Boosie within they set, but I mean, you know what I'm saying? You gotta, and it's always that I'm a business person, businessman, and there's always different businesses that I'm trying to figure out to innovate. I do want to do podcasting on a different platform, but it's got to be the way I want it. And I'm more so like you when it comes to certain things. Like I want it done a certain way. I came in and I was telling him, I was like, yo, this is dope how you got it set up, because I wish I could show you mine. Yo, I got like almost $3,000 worth of stuff, like just at reach. And it's just because I want the look to be a certain type of way. Because Twitch is a new thing. But by the time I'm on Twitch, they'll probably be just catching up with it. And you can get paid from Twitch.
Yeah.
You know, but nowadays it's a little cheaper though.
What you mean?
You can still have some high quality stuff and not have no crazy boards and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, and listen, he had because he's had this board for a long, and we were talking about
it.
Yeah, that's when he first did the podcast with Mo. He recorded from this board, so I was just like, yo, salute to you, because I done went through 2 boards and didn't like one because I wanted to look a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So that's just me.
You got anything else? I got one more thing I want to hit on
now,
at the end.
I don't know, we can't get into too much. I had this question even before we set it up. I know there's been some extra stuff been going on, but you DJ clubs and stuff, right? So how does it speak on the impact for y'all when something that y'all have nothing to do with happens close to, inside, or by an event that you're DJing? Because I always feel like for some reason I don't know why, but the DJ become a part of it for some reason.
Listen.
Red
Crab. Like, you know what? I
forgot that. I was gonna bring that.
That's
up.
what I was gonna bring up.
Yeah,
Red Crab, not the new one.
That was a situation where,
and that was a moneymaker for you, I would assume.
It was dope because it was almost like a podcast. Mm-hmm. It was like because at first, the first like 6 months, it was like a gym, and it was just like, oh, nobody knew this was going on. Then when you got people that really respect what you do and they've been coming and rocking with you for 6 months, and then they put up video. Because all the videos that people saw, and I put these videos up on purpose, they only saw what happened after 9 o'clock. I use what I had been doing for a number of years on radio. I did it the same way there. You have people that come in that's over the age of 55 that were coming in, sitting at the bar. I had a teacher that came, she sat at the table, ate her food, enjoyed the music. 8:45, she was out. Mm-hmm. She would tip and everything. Like I was getting tipped. Like it had got to the point where I was getting tips. Like it was crazy.
Star tender.
Hey, bro, listen, I really thought about a OnlyFans page like for a minute.
And you had OnlyFans quality. Cause I used to watch your stories. It was getting wild in here. I work right next to us. I'm like, I hear it, but then I see in your story like,
one of my jams on
yeah, like, and but
chill out. you out of pocket.
But yeah, so like it was one of those things, and it was that was the same thing. Here's a business that wasn't making a lot of money even through the pandemic, and they were just doing call-ins. They were making more money on the Friday night than they were making Sunday through Thursday. And it built, and it takes a couple bad apples to make a situation just worse, and that's all it was. There's some people that I'm still talking to try to make this happen, but due to the current rise in crime, the city's kind of nervous about it. and I can respect that because I don't ever want to, like, when it was happening, I could tell you what I was playing each time.
Mm-hmm.
The first time a situation broke out in there, I was playing Tucker, which is a big Southern soul artist. I played Genuine Pony. And it was just like, I must have brought the demons out on once I played Kurt Franklin.
Stop.
No, I played Revolution.
Oh.
Do you want a Revolution?
Yeah. I know a little bit about that.
Yo, they fought harder.
Yo, chill out. What's up with you, man? Yo, his setup is more.
But listen, it was the videos were on social media, and I would just sit and just like. But it was just,
seen the video.
And what was crazy was it was everybody that hadn't been there that always had. Oh, it's the DJ, huh?
That's what I was going to like. I get the
What?
I get the short end of that stick a lot.
Huh? How was it the DJ?
Anytime it's a rowdy, an event, they always what music was playing. That's the first thing. Why did you didn't stop playing music? And it's like, bro, like it's
Listen,
like
I
having
played
fun.
Kurt Franklin.
I ain't trying to laugh. No, I'm not laughing
Nah,
at the
that's
situation.
funny, bro.
I'm not
No,
laughing.
It's
listen.
still funny.
Kurt Franklin. I forgot the second time it happened. The second time it happened, the one where, all the incidents happened, it was just like, I just can't believe this is happening. Like, this is just like a bad dream. Because it started out where it was like, oh, I ain't rocking with that. But you ain't had nowhere else to go.
It's the only thing I'll say about that, but stuff like that, though, right? I work across from when stuff would happen at, so I'll be outside around that time, and you'll always see whether it's an issue or a brawl or something. And I feel like, I would never put that on DJ because I feel like as an owner, if I'm seeing it all the time, I have to like.
It was done. It was before you say that it was done. We had security in there.
Okay, I would just
So
plan
like,
for stuff like that.
No, we
They fought all. They would, but also,
and they didn't fight all the time. You got to understand us as a people sometimes, and that's the thing that I've been questioning myself about. They never question about the shooter. It's always where it happened at.
That's all I'm getting to. I was gonna say because
that's the weirdest thing. Now
there's
that's
so
a
many
weird
companies
thing.
there.
Yeah, like
why they picked that one?
Yeah, and then not only that, as we see, the Lenox Mall that everybody like to check in when they get to Atlanta. Yo, they got metal detectors there now.
I hate them all too.
It's so overrated, but that's a whole nother story. I'd rather go to Cumberland Mall. Just
Yeah, for sure.
for sure. Greenbrier.
I like South Lake too.
I like to be in Greenbrier. Gucci Man got
South
all
Lake
his jewelry from Green. That's just it's all. You always find dope kicks in Greenbrier though, for real. But they
And the
never.
Winter Conyers.
Every once in a while, you could, Stonecrest, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's what it's called, Stonecrest.
Yeah, I love Stonecrest.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. But they never blame the place where they always blame the place. They never say anything about the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's always it shouldn't have happened there. People are getting shot. I mean, and it's unfortunate. Crime has risen, but it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Who would have thought Dolph would have got at a cookie spot?
But that is like they keep talking about the cookie spot the whole time. It's like
Yeah.
a man just lost his life, but y'all talking about the damn cookie spot.
Yeah, and like,
Nah, but you gotta kind of get it though. Like,
I mean,
a shooting at a cookie spot. Like, who the hell follows somebody
But
to
it's
a
the
cookie
thing.
spot?
But the thing is, other
If you-
stores there though.
Yeah.
Like, why are we focused on this
But
one
that's
Who's
store?
inside the cookie spot?
but again, we never really focus on the shooter, and the shooter used to hang around Dolph a lot. Like,
Yeah.
but you never think about anything that's happened. We've never focused on the shooter.
But
Well,
but in a parking lot where it's 7 to 10 businesses, why you pick that one? Why
Yeah.
why is it not a Family Dollar parking lot? Why is it not Lowe's parking lot? Why is
he
it
was
not
inside the cookie
Walgreens? No, I'm just saying. I'm talking about for
Yeah,
locally
you know,
here.
yeah.
though, you know what I'm saying?
Oh.
You know, it's like it'd be like
because
7 stores.
sometimes those things get pushed under the rug.
Oh, I know what you're saying now.
But it's a media play too, because
right.
then you know what?
Yeah.
That the establishment they putting in, that's who getting sued.
Yeah,
That's what it comes down to.
yeah.
Me personally, I'm not gonna lie. I'll rather them say Lowe's if it's me. Say Lowe's parking lot. I'll get some more money. But I take another
So
play too.
the situation y'all talking about was the person coming out of the Red Crab?
I really don't like, because there's still some families that just
Yeah, I don't want-
I don't want, like,
I was just asking.
yeah,
I want
and
somebody to get deep in
to be honest with you, I was there, but I don't
You don't remember him being in there?
remember what really happened. I don't know why Because I'm telling you, I'm playing like
Kurt Franklin.
Like this shouldn't happen. Like you know what I'm saying?
It was a Sunday night?
No, it was a Friday. Like, and I'm playing Missy Elliott. Like, there are things that you just question, and by this time I'm unplugging myself because I was like, well, this over with now. This is like, yo, they fighting, they're going out. Like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. But again, it was a DJ. But it was because I'm showing people having a good time. And if you notice, nowadays, that's the new norm. If you've ever seen anybody have like a house party, you don't see when they sitting around and everybody trying to get to know each other. You see what? When Tay or Boo Boo go over there and they drinking and you know it's a twerk season. You never see the easy intimate. Yeah, you don't see the intimate Uno session. You see Uno, you know what I'm saying? It just, I don't know. We just live in a weird time right now.
That was wild.
But yeah, one thing I want to talk about before we got off. We were talking about you being a promoter earlier, and I talked to a lot of people that always have these dreams of being an inspiring promoter, but I don't think they ever think about the losses that come with that with any kind of business. Like, I wanted to ask you, like, what's the first show you ever put on, and did you come out making some money?
It was. I did a show, and this before they was like in the color parties, and when I say that, it was just like a black party. I used to do these big red parties for my birthday. Yeah, so it was a dope event. It was like my birthday party, and I made a nice little bunch of change, and staying in an apartment. I went and bought a chain. That was the dopest thing. Now, but I have taken some losses now.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about, the losses, because it's crazy. I heard this interesting story before, and this actually ain't a lost story, but I want you to tell a lost story. But I think somebody told me you had did an event with some guys. And what you laughing at? This ain't even about to be nothing crazy. Can I just say
it sound like a setup.
No, it's not a setup.
It's how you throw it in.
Yeah,
there.
it's like
somebody told
guys,
me.
Like, you know.
He gonna take my tell. He gonna take every detail. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I am.
This is funny as hell.
But yeah, they told me you had put on this event with these guys. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be a good event. Y'all had been planning it for a while, and then just so happened a certain, I don't know if he was a promoter at the time, but now he's a club owner. He dropped his flyer the week of and brought Yo Gotti to Cream the same day as the event you was supposed to put on.
I don't think I was a part of that.
You wasn't? You know what I'm talking about, though, don't you?
I think I do know what you're talking about, but I think that was the time that I was they was kind of blackballing me.
I thought you was a part of that, though.
Nah, I was. Okay. I think that was around the time they was kind of like, do Kid Joe like this, like, you know, get him out the way. Because it's been a time where it was like, oh no, we don't need him.
I gotta ask, what led to you getting blackballed? Like, why was somebody want to blackball the crown holder?
Sometimes people can take business and not really understand it, because a lot of guys were coming up at the time, and if you could do it several different things. If I can do it cheaper, or if I can pay somebody and just not deal with you. That's typically what happened. And that happened more than a few times.
I heard it'd be a lot of crazy beats.
Yeah, like, and it do be, and you be like, well, what they mad for? Like, and it ain't even being on no cocky shit. It's just like, that's something we could have talked about. Like, if it was that big of a problem. Or, you know, sometimes you deal with promoters and they want you to be a part of a party, but they want you to bring everything you bring to the table, and not realizing if one of my speakers break, bro, we gonna all walk away with the same money, and I'm still gonna be with a broke speaker and the same money you got. But you gonna walk off with your shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I never forget this one time I was at a club DJing, and this chick came and spilled a drink. But luckily, I just knew I had a mix where I could just put that on. So I let it play the rest of it. We had about 30 more minutes. I didn't care because I got some equipment that's not, matter of fact, that's happened twice where some equipment get broke. The club owner don't take that responsibility. It's your fault. And then what's crazy is we didn't have a guitar center at that time, so it was like, I got to gig tomorrow, or I got to get up and go to Atlanta and try to go get some more equipment. So that's happened like 2 to 3 different times.
That's a good perspective. I never thought about that. The fact that something happened in there, your equipment do mess up.
Yeah, it happened twice.
Nothing changes.
Yeah, and it changed the party because you like people looking at you like, what's going on? And you be like, being a professional, you try to work through that, but you still got the fact that this shit ain't finna work. Like you got to figure out another way to get it done. Like, and that's just what it is. A lot of times when you hear hiccups or some fuck up, it's not that I ain't paying attention. It's just something that fucked up, and that happens. It's almost like getting in your car and your car start working. The equipment break all the time, and now that they're pushing it out faster, it breaks faster. You know what I'm saying? So
back at Radio Shack now.
Yeah, and damn Radio Shack. Shit, we miss Radio Shack.
I definitely do. I ain't gonna lie.
That should be one of the hashtags on
Hashtag Radio Shack.
Yeah,
Radio Shack was a good one.
I went there for everything.
I used to like the remote control cars.
Yeah.
Yo, Slim is a
bro.
funny
You
guy.
ain't never know that that's a remote control car on my podcast. That Camaro. That's a remote control Camaro. I fuck with remote control cars.
Oh, I never would have known that.
Yeah, me neither. What's up, man?
Remote control car.
It's dope.
Interesting guy over here, man.
Listen. I laugh at. I told him that the first night he worked in the club with me. I was just like, yo, you kind of get away with like sarcasm that people don't really understand, that you taking shots at them, but you really taking shots at them. And
Nah, man, he not telling you. I really pissed him off.
What?
You remember I came in there? I said the story earlier. I came in there and said,
"Oh no, that didn't piss me off." I was just like, "Come on, bro!"
No, you forgot the last part. Then you was like, "Why can't I be Ghost?" And I was like, "Nigga, you don't see where we at?" And then that's when you said that what you just said.
Yeah, but it went well. Yeah, it was like, God damn it! I didn't have on a hat though. I didn't have on a brim hat though, and. That was bad. It was bad.
Bro, it was a joke, though.
I mean, no, I wasn't mad, though. I wasn't mad.
Yeah.
Like, I had the computer that night.
Uh-huh.
So I was still working on a computer. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, he don't realize, when you miss, like, that's a lot of music to try to regain back. And people don't understand. People just see one thing. They don't see the elegant shit you do. They just see the hood ratchet shit you do, and but it's a lot of music you have to go back and try to get, like.
But I was joking though.
Oh, and I was cool. I wouldn't like, bro.
Because you remember the first night was R&B night, so I know you do.
Oh yeah, but a lot of people don't know that.
He said, "You see where we at?" Yeah. You stupid,
bro. I was joking, bro.
Oh no, it was because it did. It was just
first impressions, man. You know how that go.
Nah, I mean. It was just bad. It was the whole like, and I wasn't paying him. Like, I really wasn't like, you know how he say, I was like, oh okay, and then that's just how that went. Like, it was just like
you was working anyway. So.
Yeah, like I was working, so I didn't
know. Yeah, because
and like if I had got really pissed off, I'd be like, man, fuck that. We go get this nigga here. Like it just it wouldn't have been
trying to take niggas equipment all night.
Yeah, like we'll get somebody else to do this shit. No, I wouldn't that.
But nah, before we get off, I really wanted to get you to tell a story. There you go. I can't ask no questions about him thinking I'm about to drop a hot one.
We good.
Nah, but I wanted to know, because I told you I know some people that got dreams of being promoters.
Yeah.
So I want to know a story of like a time where you took a loss on the event.
Great story right now. I'll give it to you. Well, Boosie was one. Boosie was definitely one. Because that was going to be like...
Oh, yeah, you ain't finished the Boosie story.
Boosie, like... I did finish it because I don't want to go into details because there were a lot of people that stopped it. Matter of fact, that was the weekend of the Masters. And we know how Augusta is about the Masters. So they were really... I think they called somewhere downtown and it was just like, who? And the parole officer, like, read him everything that he had going on, and it was just like, oh no, and they stopped every club in the city from having. Matter of fact, I'm sure a lot of club owners won't talk about it, but they called and made that phone call and said if he hit the stage, it won't happen.
Was that like 06 or 07?
It was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, like he had just got out of jail.
Uh-huh.
Memphis was like he had a date that Friday. And we were there Saturday. He called in and did radio interviews. He was doing the Breakfast Club interviews.
I remember that because that was when the red carpet was charging like $300 a night.
Yeah, so like,
they know they don't need no $300.
Yeah,
a night.
so like it was crazy. So that was one, because that was gonna be one of those ones that kind of set me up for, like maybe I could get out of radio. And then I never forget, I did Plies one time. So Plies came and gave me this great interview. We talked about it. We talked about it. No, he was coming to Waynesboro. Okay. So he was coming to Waynesboro, and he gave me this great interview. We got the numbers where I was comfortable with. It was crazy because I was in Waynesboro by myself setting up. I was taking out all the chairs in the building, and I had sold my last ticket. I had 200 tickets that I was selling. I sold my last ticket. The record company calls me and says, "Yo, Plies said he not coming. He need another 5 bands, and he need it before he leave Jacksonville. So you got 2 hours to try to get that." I was like, "What?" So believe it or not, I was able to call Tyshawn, and he had the cash on it. Don't ask me why. That's a whole nother story. But we were able to find a bank before 5 o'clock that we could wire the money to him. He asked for like 4 bottles of Ace of Spade. I said, "Bro, they don't sell that at Augusta. Well, give me the Remy." So I went and bought 4 bottles of Remy.
They do sell Ace of Spades in Augusta now, though, but
they
that shit is high, and you got to go to 4 different stores.
but they don't sell 4 bottles at one place.
Oh, hell no. They got one. That's why I said 4 different stores. They
already got me for $5,000 more dollars than what, and I was over the 10 mark. So I was over 10,000. Mm-hmm. So you got me for 5,000 more.
What song he had out at this time? Which Plies is this? Is this Who Hotter Than Me? Or is this...
You remember his song? No, listen, Google it. He had a song with Sean Garrett.
Spotlight.
Yeah.
No, it was like some cool R&B like.
Yeah, it was called Streetlight. Streetlight.
No.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was not called Streetlight.
It was either Spotlight or Streetlight.
It was not called. Listen, I promise you, it was. I forgot. That's how horrible. Well, I won't say that.
It's called Streetlight.
No, it's not.
Watch when he see it's called Streetlight, man. Watch what he do.
I'll say I'm wrong, but I don't think that. That's not it.
We gonna get flagged. Look, I told you.
No, it wasn't on this album. It was not on this album.
The Realest?
No, it wasn't. It was not on this album. We not gonna get flagged because I don't even want to play this shit no more. I was so pissed off with him with this shit. Nah, this one it. Nah, this one it. He had another song with Sean Garrett.
I told you.
No,
man.
it wasn't. No. I'm about to prove him wrong. That's not it. I promise you. This was. No, it's not. I'm telling you, it's not that. Like, hold on. He had another song with Sean Garrett.
You see how Kid Joe be beefing with me, bro?
Bro, I'm not beefing.
Let me have it right now.
No, here it is. That ain't it. I'm gonna show you this song afterwards.
Right.
We're not gonna find it now, but
yeah, what happened though?
He wanted an extra 5,000. I had to find somebody to go get him the 5,000. He got there right at like 1:15. Mind you, people were still standing outside. So they was kind of leery. Oh, it's going to be too packed to get in there. He ain't coming. And my reputation was on the line. So I had never had any artist. I already had the Boosie thing that I was kind of hurt about because he was coming. My reputation is everything. That Jinky promoter shit, I was never on that shit. Like, if I lost, and I lost gracefully. He got there. They came in. He said, "Yo, y'all ain't got no more security than this? Man, let's hurry up and get this show done, man, so I can get out of here." He did the show and got the hell out of there. I took the worst L in the world because the club they didn't even have a set price for me because we worked together on a lot of different things, and they wanted $1,000 extra on top of the security wanted like $200 extra more dollars.
How many security you had in where he felt like it wasn't enough?
I think I had 6 security guards.
How much you wanted?
I guess 12.
Nah. Oh, how much security he wanted? Oh, I don't know. But he brought his own security. Mm-hmm. This when Plies would come out and he have like
100 chains.
Yeah, and he had like 5 or 6 like big dudes with him, like not normal.
That nigga 5'11".
Yeah. So it was just that was the worst. Like I didn't want to hear a Plies song for at least 5 years.
What kind of hit we talking though? Like
it wasn't even a hit.
So no. I'm saying, what kind of hit did you take? Like you said your original budget was like 10,000, right?
No, my original budget was 15.
15,000, and you end up forking out
22.
And how much you projected to make?
I was looking at to do 30.
Then you didn't make the 30.
Oh no. Everybody looked like they had their hand out that night. Everybody.
I ain't gonna lie. I had to ask you this because now I get it.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah.
Like when I be at the club with you, I get it now.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, and people don't see that. People just see the girls, and people think that's the first thing that I'm just so crazy about. No, I want people to have a good time, and I want to make some money. That's it. That's it.
Can you say how much you lost tonight? Can you say how much you lost tonight?
I think that Boosie was going to do good, but I didn't lose. We just lost like plane tickets and shit like that for that.
So
the $100. Yeah, the Plies was a big night. Kelly Rowland was a night we lost. We had Kelly Rowland down here.
This nigga so media trained. You see how he do?
What? No numbers?
That nigga ain't saying one number. He just started talking about other times he lost. Gave me something else.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna set me up to get robbed. Because people think I'm walking around with all this.
Robbing you.
Hey, listen, you'd be surprised how many people just like it can't happen like that for me. I just can't.
They can't rob something you don't have though. We talking about money you didn't get.
Yeah, like I don't have cash on me at all. Like you just shooting yourself. Like
now we got that PSA out.
Yeah,
how much was it?
What?
Yo, you funny.
No, I'm telling you, that's what it was. It was like 22,000 in one night. And actually, if you look at the weekend, because no, that was another weekend. So I did one weekend where I did Young LA and
Leland Austin.
Yeah, and I did Pinky, but I did Young LA in one of the rural towns, and then I did Pinky that Monday at 7:06. And believe it or not, I was supposed to have it one place, and somebody got shot. And
Jesus Christ.
You make it sound so harsh. And somebody got shot, and I had to move it to another place. But moving it to the other place kind of messed it all up. So I lost that. That was like a 10,000er. And then the Pinky was like a 5. So in the weekend, you lose about anywhere from 17 to 18,000.
So in conclusion, do you think club promotion is worth it? Like,
not now.
Do the let me rephrase this question. Do the wins hit harder or do the losses hit harder?
The losses always hit harder. Cause
so
you don't go into it. Listen, when your heart is in it, it don't matter. That's like if your computer crashed right today and you lost you gonna figure out how to get up and go get your go.
That happened to me before.
Yeah, so if your computer crashed
with my big ass iMac.
Yeah, so you gonna figure out how to get your show back up, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're a true promoter, like when you take them kind of losses, you just gonna figure out. And I've never went and robbed Peter to pay Paul. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I kind of always had and any security guard, anybody that's ever worked for me, I'll tell you, like, it's always business. If anybody ever say, oh, he ain't do good business, let's sit in the room and talk about it.
Yeah, I know that firsthand. You big on that.
Yeah, I pride myself. Like, if I'm going to lose, we going to, hey, give me 2 minutes. Let me run over to this ATM and we're going to get you right. Like, or if you can give me till in the morning, I don't need you on social media talking bad about me.
Bro, you know what Kid Joe told me a little while ago?
To today?
A situation happened. I ain't gonna talk about the situation, but a situation happened, and he was like, "Hey, bro, can you just wait 10 minutes? Because I don't need you going on your podcast talking about this shit."
Oh no, okay. I'll tell you what happened. Like we were told one thing that we brought this artist down, and we were told that they were supposed to do one thing. They got there.
I didn't know you was gonna say this. Keep going. I'm excited.
They got there. They sat with a mask, and they really didn't want anybody. They didn't want nobody phones out. They kind of wanted you to take a picture right there with them, and that's not what we paid for because we advertised one thing and they did a totally different opposite thing. But like, I understand. Like he was ready to go. But right now we trying to handle a bigger situation because it could be a bigger problem where he not working. And that's what I don't think a lot of times the people that's working understand those type of things where you may have a hiccup where you're trying to handle this situation. And because I've always been cool on that. Like as long as I ain't waiting and it's 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm still waiting on my money at the end of the night. We good. But because those things happen. Like, and we didn't know. And this person got back in their rental car and got back on the road. Like we ain't said nothing. And that was the worst thing in the world because we don't promote like that. Like if they say we say they're gonna do one thing, you know, they gonna do it.
It was Slim just waiting around for his money.
Nah, he never had to wait.
Oh nah, I got squared away.
But we was
They
handling.
just had a lot going on. There,
like when he came, it was like, okay, I done. But I be telling him sometimes he got to put a little bit more oomph in it. You know what I'm saying? You know, Slim he the cool, like, wild turkey drinker. So, like, it just
I'll be having a flask in the club, too.
Yeah. Well, you shouldn't tell that. Like, delete that part.
I can't have a flask?
Bro, I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, we delete that part. Keep going. But yeah, the losses. That's all we need to know. The losses.
The losses are always heavy, but when you got your heart in it, like the losses don't mean anything because it just keep you. It's like being told you can't do something, and you do it. Like I was always told, like you never. Like Train told me one time, you'll never be this, and he was pushing me, but it was a fucked up way of pushing me, but. Every time he told me, like when they told me I would never be number one, I was just like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna be number one several years in a row. And I had numbers that like I beat Keith Sweat. These are Arbitron. If you go and look at all these numbers, like these are real numbers. Like in this area, like
You talking about the Sweat Hotel?
Yeah, like 22 share. These are numbers that you can the money what radio stations look for, the money demos, this is what it is. And you can go Google any of those numbers. From past years, like Kid Joe.
My mama loved the Sweat Hotel too.
Well, listen, I was beating his ass. Beating his ass.
That's where he get that phrase from, huh?
Yeah,
What?
but I was gonna say that, but I said I'm gonna leave mama out of it. I don't play them.
What?
That's
like
cool.
that.
Oh no,
Nah,
I'm saying.
Joe, I want you to make my mama happy.
Oh yeah, but you gotta understand,
Joe
I
got
made her
this
a little
time,
happy.
baby.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit more happier than that.
He made her happier than Keith Sweat.
Yeah, you
That's
know.
a hard job to do too, because she fuck with Keith Sweat.
Listen, Keith Sweat. When I learned he was from Jersey, we was at a conference.
They said
and-
Keith Sweat was a gangster too.
No, he is like in real life.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you this story offline, but he's a very respectable guy. Like, but Keith Sweat, gangster.
I believe it though.
No, gangster.
He was on New Jack City singing his heart out.
Don't
Hey,
let a lot of these R&B guys.
Did y'all know Mike Epps was on The Sopranos? The Sopranos behind you. Did you know Mike Epps was on The Sopranos? He played a gay guy. The
I will
first
go-
episode of Sopranos.
I will go
he
back
plays,
because I still got the
a gay
DVD,
couple.
but I got to find a
Yeah.
DVD player.
I'm telling you something I know.
Okay, well I got to
He
go back.
played
and
a
check.
gay guy. Episode 1, they went to go find out about them stealing a car, and
Watch
it
me
was
with power,
a gay
man.
couple. It was a gay couple,
never
and Mike
watched it.
Epps was the gay guy. It was a white guy.
Okay,
black
I gotta
guy.
go.
The
I
black
gotta go
guy's
check.
Mike Epps.
I gotta go check that out.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna take your word for it though. I love Sopranos.
I'll give you one. Biggie bought Faith's engagement ring from Windsor Jeweler.
In Augusta? How you know that?
Because one of the club owners that's still here took them. Like Biggie came to Augusta.
It's crazy too. There's only like 3 big club owners, so we pretty much can guess which one.
You probably would.
He wants you to tell him that's what
I'm not gonna tell him.
I'll
give you a couple. I'll give you a couple.
He said, I'll give you a couple, not the one you want.
No, I'll give you a couple little quick Augusta truths. Bankroll Fresh.
Last performance was here. I was
last
there.
Performance here.
I was there. It was at Sky City.
Yeah, he did it on a Wednesday. It was a birthday.
He came late as hell.
No, he didn't. He was at the station.
It was 1:30 in the morning.
He was at the station, and I'll show you footage. We had a great time at the station. It was one of the best times. I was hurt when that happened. Like, truly hurt, because he really was just like appreciated. The first time I ever met him was at a station in Atlanta, and it was just a dope time. So,
R.P. Bankroll, man.
R.P. Bankroll.
Great performance too.
Amazing performance. I still keep.
Was that his security with him? Because he had some big ass niggas with him.
But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, they jumped out of Suburban because I was standing in the back when he pulled up.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, that's all we got, man. Anything you got, man?
Nah, I think you covered it all, baby.
Yo, he done watch his clock like 4 times. Like, yo, this is the longest.
No, I love interviewing. That's nothing new.
Oh, okay.
Nah, just I get in rabbit hole sometimes. I be pissing man off. You know how it go.
Oh, it's cool. It's cool. I listen. One thing I gotta say for what you guys are doing for the culture in the city. Like, if nobody else says they appreciate you, you guys truly do an amazing job using the platform that you have. And a lot of times people come on here and don't give y'all that credit, but you gotta look at, a lot of times y'all grab artists before people even know that they're really artists. Mm-hmm. And salute to you guys, because people don't understand what it is to come in here and your light go out and right before you know what I'm saying,
right.
Your batteries ain't charged or your computer got some lag time. People don't understand those things, so salute to you guys, man. I appreciate what you're doing for the city, because all of it plays a part in some form. Because when people really understand we could be like Atlanta, because we're the second largest city in Georgia. When they understand and say, well, listen, we could put our differences aside and let's go to this person, and we map it all out where you have to come through Augusta. And people have come through this city and not even known it. Mm-hmm. Like, from where y'all at right now, I can't, I had to tell you afterwards who comes on this road, but when I think of his name, I can't even think of his name off. But y'all are doing a lot for the culture, so don't ever take your hard work for granted, because eventually it'll pay off. It's just in timing.
I appreciate that, man. It mean a lot.
Yeah, appreciate that a lot.
No, for sure.
I'm gonna start doing rappers again too soon.
Yo, that was the coolest. That was the coolest look I've ever seen you do the whole interview. But I appreciate you guys.
Nah, I want to do an interview with 2 Slime soon. So hook that up.
We'll do it right. We'll do it right now.
All right, but that's all we got for today, man. We out.
All right, we out.